The Hodges's martial artist was fighting the main character. They were fighting, and the second granddaughter of the emperor, she tries to get involved. Basically, she tries to rid of the main character while he's too busy fighting the dude. But the dude is like, you're not gonna meddle in my fight. You're not gonna cause me to basically cheat this fight. This is not gonna allow this to happen. So they stop their fight. She gets so hissy and pissy about this that she puts a worm inside of her, jumps into the tunnel so she can hunt down the male lead and kill him and put a worm inside of him. Yes, this girl's full on cray cray. The main character, not wanting anyone to touch his husband, jumps into the tunnel. The hostage's martial artist also jumps after the main character because he knows all the things the hostage did to this tunnel, and he does not want the main character to die because the main character is his perfect opponent, his perfect rival. He doesn't want his perfect rival to die, right? So all three of them jumped into that tunnel. The emperor and the member of the Maleedsborough were able to escape the tunnel and find the ending of it and escape the monster because the three idiots jumping into the tunnel. Two of them going after the Maleed and one of them going after the main character. Basically, the monster sees them and goes after them instead. Typically, it ends up just chasing after the martial artist instead of the emperor's second granddaughter and the main character. Go back to the death of the leader of the 13 floors. He seemed very obsessive in the want and desire of the Male to die with him. Like, he wanted the Male to die. He was practically pleading, saying everything he could to get the Male to stay with him. Like, he wanted him gone. And if the Male had survived it, he still wished that one day the Male would die and meet with him so they could have more conversations, that they could banter with each other back and forth more. Like, this man had a full-on desire for the Maleed. Like, he had an obsession with the Maleed. On this almost same level as the way the main character has. But where the main character has an adoration, a love, this man just has obsession. Full-on need to control and obsess over the Maleed, even the Maleed's death. Now, yes, it's the poison that he gives the Maleed that saved the Maleed's life, but he was also hoping the poison would kill the Maleed and the Maleed would stay with him in death. The second granddaughter of the emperor, when she finds the leader of the 13 floors dead, she is furious. She is pissed. She took the worm so she could get down there and save the leader, save the man she loves, the man who raised her and cared for her, the man who she was gonna marry, which again, sorry, I'm trying not to puke. She is pissed, and she takes that anger out on the Maleed. She is trying to rip out the Maleed's heart. She puts a worm inside the Maleed. Luckily, she is stopped and killed by the main character, and the main character gets the worm outside of the Maleed, and he gets the Maleed out of there. Now, while trying to get the Maleed out of there, they end up facing off the martial artist of the hostage again. But both men are like, we got to get to our loves. We got to get to our loves and get them safe. Like, he realized, the martial artist of the hostage realized his man is probably in danger, probably at death's door, or is dead, so he needs to get to his side. And the main character knows his man is at death's door, so they're both like, we got to stop this fight. We'll meet again in 3 years. But until then, and they even set a place, until then, they won't face off each other because they have to get to our men. The main character's third chief and a group of men rush to the hostage's palace, but by the time they arrive everyone is dead. They all been slaughtered. And they do find the hostage. He had not escaped, but all those goo worms inside of him had turned him into a horrifying monster, a horrifying corpse. He had used too much of those worms, and it slowly eroded him and killed him. Like his martial artist had told him to stop, that he was going too far, that he was going to get himself killed. Everything he has done, if he was come out victorious, he would still die at the end. What's the point of becoming victorious if you're not going to live to get all the rewards out of it? And he's like, it's fine. My father is still going to give me a title, and I put a worm inside of him so he would keep his promise. Like, this man did not care. He was gonna literally destroy himself and kill himself to make sure he got this victorious, and he didn't even end up winning. He ended up dead, anyways. The martial artist arrives and he tries taking off with the body, and the third chief is, hey, you're just like, it's perfectly fine. You're gonna take him and take him where he can be buried. I would have let you, but he's filled with worms, and those worms end up in anybody's body. It will be a mess and a half. Don't go ruining others people's lives just you want to take the body to be buried. And he agrees. And they work together to give this dude a burial box, at least a thing that would make it easy to transport him, or just like, I think they burned the body. I wasn't sure which one it was. Like, that part I was confused about, because we all know I'm not good with this information. No, I'm not sure about this, but I think the medicine, specifically the poison the leader of the 13 floors gifted the male lead, the one that would 50-50 kill him or save his life, cured him of his illness, or at least pushed the illness far away back. I'm not sure which one it was, but at least he's kind of cured. I was confused about this part. For a Pico like him, I was shocked that he went bald. Like, I was shocked about that. What wasn't shocking was the way he reacts afterwards. There's literally a lot of the eulogy is him whining and crying about his baldness and him freaking out about it. He literally starts doubting his own looks, which is not a shocker because this man is a peacock. Every time he thinks it's a little bit of a mess, he overreacts because he's a peacock. The eldest princess and the first granddaughter of the emperor, they get basically a slap on the wrist. They just get house arrest, and the house arrest lasts maybe a few days, and that is literally it. No severe consequences for the actions they took. Yes, they were basically accomplices that didn't know what was actually going on, but they saw what was going on from the get-go. Like, once they saw what happened at the banquet, they didn't open their mouths about the girl that came in and was like, oh, I'm your daughter, I'm your sister, and was telling them from the get-go to keep their mouths shut. They didn't start being like, or the fact she's starting to get into their heads and turn them against their parents and grandparents. They realized maybe she wasn't actually a good person. They kept their mouths shut the entire time and let everything get as severe as they did. But yes, it did rekindle the relationship between the first granddaughter and the empress. Like, their relationship is better than it was, but still. And yes, the first granddaughter is now working with the male lead to hunt down other members of the 13 floors, which again, how is she supposed to help if she wasn't fully involved? So she was probably more involved than just being an unknowing acquaintance. Only she just helped her sister switch places with her off and on. They were more involved than that, and they should have got punished more. Like, yes, oh, they lost their chance of being Empress Downground and the sister of the emperor, but still, that's not actually a fully great position to have. Many times I read in history, and having those positions or being any involved with the emperor is a bad fate to have. Just like the eldest princess and the first granddaughter of the emperor, the third prince gets scot-free. He doesn't even get punished. Like, he is free to do what he wants. At least the book didn't say it, or I just missed it when I was reading it. He's scot-free. And I guess he was the one that Thousand Autumns bonus chapters were talking about, or Thousand Autumns eulogy was talking about, right? It wasn't the crown prince, it was him. I could be wrong. But, like, he gets scot-free from it. Also, it took me till the end to realize the goo worms are basically the chess pieces from Husky and his White Cashews. And they're literally the same thing. They do exactly the same thing, and I can't believe it took me until the end of this book to realize they were the same thing. I feel so stupid over that. And look how cute this is! The peacock and his fox. Because they are a peacock and his fox.